then you pull it from there and maybe put it in another place that it is needed.
Absolutely. And he said that community services would be the perfect place to, perfect division to move.
And he said that before. But
overall, as mayor, well, if elected mayor, as mayor, do you feel that the police department is in pretty good stead? And, I mean, you provide the police with proper tools to perform work efficiently. Have they conveyed to you that there are certain things, either funding or tools, that they need?
They always want, they always want to ensure they have enough people, enough officers. With the current budget cut, the academy got cut back, and you have to remember, the academy is not just put them in and get them out. They've got training to go, and as they lose people from retirement or
but let's be real. They only had a little less than $300,000 cut from the budget, because when I had the chief and Captain Grubb on Blaine's show, I mean, the chief couldn't buy a charter, couldn't say anything about the budget, but Grubb was here, so he said, we'll make do.
And they make do.
In one training, there should be one academy.
Absolutely.
I've always said that.
Absolutely.
It's not Frederick High versus TJ, Walkersville versus Middletown.
It's duplicative to have two academies.
That's right. And there should be, and also Brunswick and Thermont, everybody together, because we're all there to do public safety.
And you can get a whole lot of, do it a lot cheaper.
Sure.
But one question I have, and you've had it in your literature, is that you want to take money from the, you said West Side Regional Park, but we call it the Hargett Farm Park. You want to take money from that in order to fund the police station.
Correct.
You want to elaborate on that?
I mean, there's capital improvement money set aside for the Hargett Farm. And I, as President of Tourism Council, I believe that the park would be a great tourist attraction. But I also am a type of person to have to realize, I believe that you need to look at the times you're in. And right now, the park is not high on my priority. I want to make sure that the police has everything they need. Streets are maintained.
Well, how would you feel if, in fact, this current administration signs the agreement with the building we can't talk about in public, which everybody knows where it is, and finally gets something done? Then how would you feel about taking money from the Hargett Farm Park?
If by the time I become mayor, it's already a done deal, then I have no problems leaving the money alone at Hargett.
Okay.
All right, let's take a quick break. Talking with Randy McClement, is Republican candidate for mayor, Randy McClement.
Hello.
Randy, going door to door, what are you hearing? What's the hot button issues?
Everybody talks about traffic. That seems to be a concern. People talk about the concern of what's coming down in the next couple of years. Everybody's hearing the fact that the state's already saying the next 2 years are going to be murder, and it's just going to flow right on down. People are concerned about what it's going to do to their tax base when it flows down to the city, because this is where the last stop on the railroad train. I think it's more the economy is driving a lot of their concerns.
The real screw is going to, if they send their pensions back down from the state to the county, that's where it's really going to hit the rubber's going to hit the road.
What are some of the major platform vision type when you say Randy McClement or Mayor McClement, what are some of the things that if elected you're going to want to get accomplished as mayor?
Well, first of all, I go back to harping on the business, but I believe that it needs to be run like the city needs to be run like a business. We need to set it up like a business. I've already created an org chart. I've dropped the number of direct reports from, I think it's either 6 or 7 now, to 4. It goes back to what I'd said before. You have the right people in the right place, and the mayor needs to be out finding out what is the next thing, what's the next topic in line that people are worried about. The meetings. I believe that it's the mayor's job to run the meetings in an efficient manner. Jeff and I are very good friends, but he has a different style than I do. And I believe that some of the problems that have come up in the past have come because there hasn't been enough, control's the worst word to say, but management of the meetings.
In what way? What are you saying?
Here, good example. I think that the aldermen should have all the rights to talk, but talking over top of each other, someone needs to make sure that there's some sort of organization to talk. The buyout was a good example of that. Everybody was talking over each other. No one knew what anybody was saying, and there was no cohesion to say, whoa, what are we talking about? Where are we going? What's the direction with this thing?
Well, let me tell you, I don't disagree with that, but I almost compare, the buyout to, this healthcare thing. The alderman should have said, give it to me, let me read it before I vote on it.
Absolutely. And
the mayor is getting a lot of blame.
The mayor does not vote except to break a tie.
That's my point. And if I'm an alderman and something like that, put it in my little grubby hand.
Absolutely.
Give me 1 week.
Let me read the bill.
And just like you would, you, Anita, you'll have all these questions.
Oh, yeah.
And then let's vet it, and then we'll vote on it. And if it was done that way,
I blame the aldermen for talking over top of each other.
Absolutely.
I used to run a very tight meeting. I mean, they called me something that started with a B, but I've been called sir, so it doesn't really matter. I can't imagine what it would be. But I mean, and the reason that I ran meetings like that is because I want to. If it's important enough for you to flap your lips, it's important enough for everybody to hear what you're going to say.
Absolutely.
It may be stupid, but we'll at least give you let you talk. The one thing that I have a real problem with, not just this administration, but really many people that chair meetings and that attend meetings who are making the decision, they don't know how to make a stupid motion.
Right.
That's right.
I mean, if you and people, I know everybody was wanting, and I'm not going to talk about the buyout, but every time there's any confusion at all, it's like, well, we didn't know what was in the motion. Well, when you make the motion, it doesn't matter what you said in the meeting. Everything is in the motion.
Don't vote on it then.
When it's groundbreaking policy, you spell the motion out.
Even it's a dumb little thing.
That's right. When it's something you can read right from the agenda.
And again, to go back to the mayor, that the mayor is responsible for saying, did everybody understand that motion? Okay, now what's the vote?
Well, but I think lots of times it has been asked if everybody understands the motion or has any questions, and they just sit there like a bunch of lumps, and then when
they're wrong for voting if they didn't understand.
And then when it comes out, they really didn't. But everybody's management style is different. I'm just a real hands-on, real what.
Well, I know the buyout's been a lightning rod issue. Part of it obviously is because times are tough, and we're in a recession. And, so it makes it a lightning rod issue. But really, it's just like anything else. The jury ain't going to be in on that thing for 10 years.
That's right.
I mean, there's no way. There's so many different scenarios.
And that's
because
why.
if those rehires stay for 5 years, you reset the clock again on the salaries.
Correct.
So you don't know how many times you're going to reset because it's all based on
And
scenarios.
if you don't fill positions, then there you are. So, I mean, and then you've got to let it sit for a year and be audited so that you can really see what it was.
But it goes back to exactly what you said before. It wasn't vetted well. If you'd vetted it well, you would have thought, oh, wait a minute, if we do this and these people are allowed to come back, are they going to be able to get pension again?
Well, here's my major problem. Once you got done the buyout, the aldermen went back and made up the difference in the, the 25, 30-year plans, where the shortage with the, what is it that keeps up with cost of living?
The CPI, is that what you're talking?
The CPI, yeah. That was wrong.
Oh, yeah.
To flatline it?
It was wrong.
It should
have gone down.
You benefit, and it's based on cost of living. Cost of living's gone down, so the CPI went down.
It's the first time in my memory it's ever gone down.
So they went and did that, which was about $600,000, if I believe, wasn't it?
Yep.
All right, then you turned around, and now they had an opportunity with the rehires not to get the second pension, and they've left that alone.
Mm-hmm.
You're walking away from it.
Well, the aldermen need to recognize that they are legislators.
Yeah. And I often said is, okay, it's now done. What legislations or policy are you going to be put in place to make sure it doesn't happen again?
Mm-hmm.
And
exactly.
right now, nothing's
happened, except we're still whining about the buyout.
Talking
Wine.
with Randy McClement, running for mayor, Republican candidate, 301-694-9363, 301-694-WFMD. Need to take a quick break. Anita in the studio with me today.